Wow, wow, wow. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu sacks 4 service chiefs with immediate effect and replaces them. And he has done other major shakeup in the security architecture of Nigeria. Let's discuss this and others. Please don't go away. Hello, how are you doing today? I am your guy, Ernest Adebayo Okoje, Koje Media. If today is your first time of visiting our channel, please click on the subscribe button and hit on the notification bell so that you get future updates on all our videos. So it's no longer news that the elephant in the room, the big elephant in the room, has shaken his body. And it came as no surprise to us when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu retired all service chiefs. You know, accomplishing in 3 weeks what President Buhari did in 3 months, and other things he has even done were things Buhari did in 6 months. But there is a problem. In the whole of the appointment President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been making, over 32 of them so far, only just 2 Igbos have been appointed. Chief of Naval Staff, and then one special advisor on something. And then, of course, ladies also, they are not experiencing a fair share. We've just had 2 top female appointments. Now, let's quickly look at the appointments and the dismissals, or let's say retirement of the service chiefs. Now, the newly appointed officers are Malam Nuhu Ribadu, National Security Advisor. Those of us who can take our minds back to the Jonathan's era, we remember this Nuhu Ribadu. He was the either Jonathan's era or later Adwa's era, or was it Obasanjo's era? I'm confusing. I'm mixing history up now. Anyways, everybody knew how fierce he was. He was an ASP. He headed the dreaded EFCC, Economic and Financial Crime Commission, that was created by Obasanjo. People felt that Obasanjo was using that arm of the government to winch hunt political dissidents and opponents. And this guy was the guy that was at the ends of affairs until Jonathan came and Jonathan removed him. The guy stood firm with Tinubu, and Tinubu is coming as no surprise that Tinubu has taken him, and he is coming from the north, and then Chief of Defense Staff, CG Musa, that is also coming from the north. And then we have the Chief of Army Staff. You see, of all these positions, the Chief of Army Staff is the most powerful. Just check all the military coups in Nigeria. You see that the coups usually come from, Chief of Army Staff. They are the ones who usually carry out coup. And so it's good to put somebody you trust very well. And so he has put a person from his own region, from the southwest. I'm not talking about Lagos or Osun State. I don't even know where he's from. And the name of the man is Lagbaja, T.A. Lagbaja. And then Rear Admiral E.A. Ogala, Chief of Naval Staff. Chief of Naval Staff is actually the man from the southeast, and to me, Chief of the Navy and the Air Force in Nigeria are not as powerful as the Army. So in the end, just putting people there may just be like putting figureheads, and so that's where the Easterner is coming from. And then, of course, we have other appointments. We have the Chief of Air Staff, Abubakar, HB Chief, and then the Inspector General of Police, which he has put as acting, Kayode Egbetokun is acting Inspector General of Police. He was formerly the DIG. So of all the appointments, it goes far beyond the service chiefs. There are other military architecture that experience a shake-up also. We know the Inspector General of Police also. We know the police force. And then beyond that, there were some other appointments, like brigade guards for commander, Onasanya Brigade of Guards Commander. Those are people who usually guard and protect the Aso Rock. He changed the Buhari time. Buhari didn't really do something like that. Buhari waited for like 3 months before even did the service chief change in replacement. But this guy is doing it in less than 3 weeks, because he wants to show that he's actually performing. And these people are the people that will help him deliver his campaign promises. So it's better he puts people he can work with. So we understand that, but you should try to make it a little bit reflective of the ethnic spread, of Nigeria. And with what we have seen here, he actually picked them from the 6 geopolitical zones. From the I'm going to put up a map of the. See, on Daily Trust, we have the Inspector General of Police coming from Ogun State, the Chief of Army Staff coming from Osun State, and then we have the Naval Chief coming from Enugu, and then we have the CDI coming from South, which is Cross Rivers. We have the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, coming from Adamawa State. And then we have the Air Chief, Chief of Air Staff, coming from Kano State. And then finally, we have the Chief of Defense Staff, coming from Kaduna. So there are still some states, even the states of his Vice President He has not made any serious appointment from that place in terms of high-ranking officials. And we also know that, of course, in politics, people who supported you one way or the other, you appoint them. And we've not seen a lot of persons like the likes of Wike, the likes of the political prostitute, Fani Kayode, one of the most shameless politicians in Nigeria. We've not seen his name there, and I don't hope to see his name. We've not seen the likes of Festus Keyamo, and we've not even seen the appointment of Asari Dokubo, who has been going to leak the boards of people in power, to see if he could get some form of political favors. We've not seen that, but of course he has not appointed ministers, and so maybe some of these names will come out under ministerial appointment. But we also know that for ministers, you must pick ministers from 36 states. So no matter how biased you want to be, like Buhari was very biased in his appointment. He had no choice when it came to ministerial appointment. He picked from the eastern states, but the service chiefs, none of them came from east. The one that the Air Force, the naval staff was from south, I think Edo State or thereabout. So I think I'm a little bit happy with what Tinubu is doing. I just hope that more appointments would show names from the eastern part. And some people will be thinking, why am I advocating for the easterners? I'm not from the east, I'm from south, Edo State. But I just want equal representation. I don't want marginalization, because we all know what's going on. Buhari's the legitimacy of Tinubu's victory is still being contested in the courts. So if he begins to witch hunt people from a certain region, it will seem as though he is you've beaten the child and you're asking the child not to cry. If they feel that they won an election, they have evidence, let them take it, prove their case in court. So that does not mean you should marginalize their people. And then let's look at the other appointments that were made, and let's discuss other news. You will live with the shame of your dishonesty. Keneth Okonkwo slams INEC chairman. I keep saying this. Honesty can be proven with money. When you want to know people who are dishonest, just present them with money. And then what goes with power is integrity. When you have power, what integrity do you show? And Prof Yahkoob, the INEC chairman, has shown that he does not have honesty and he does not have integrity, because he could not shun money, and then he abused power. And if not for him, probably we would not have been having what we're having in courts at the moment. The Labour Party taking INEC and then Tinubu to court, and we're seeing INEC party now becoming the defender of APC. I don't know if INEC and APC have now become one. Now, Keneth Okonkwo, the spokesperson for the Labour Party, a right-hand man of Peter Obi, who left APC, who was formerly in APC but left because he could not stand and stomach the Muslim tickets that Tinubu came up with the other time. And then he has this to say of him. He said, Professor Mahmood, please, where was the big TV screen behind you showing the electronically transferred and transmitted presidential election results, as promised by you when you were announcing your dubious presidential results? You will live with the shame of your dishonesty forever. Now, some of us may be wondering what TV. No, during the collation of results, he said that there will be a TV screen behind, whereby the live results will be displayed so that people will not follow what they are seeing on social media. But there was never anything like that. He said, condemning the electoral body chairman for failing to keep his pledges. Okonkwo questioned where was the big TV screen he spoke about. Of course, there was no TV screen. And then he goes on to say, even when some party agents reminded you of this promise and the law, you harassed them, refused to do the right thing, and told them to go to court. God rules in affairs of men, and he will judge you. Yahkoob will go down as one of the most dishonest INEC chairman in recent times, because this is when Nigerian democracy is developing. We are no longer talking about democracy in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s, and we are beginning to see that more and more countries are interested in our democracy. We are the biggest democracy in Africa. And the people expect that by now, all this kind of with the technology of the IREV, the beavers and all of that, people didn't expect to see something like this. Now, elections results are supposed to be transmitted electronically, but we all saw what was happening. They didn't do that and started to manufacture results. So it's just a shameful thing that things like this happen, that people were disenfranchised, people were flogged based on their ethnicity, and they prevented from going to cast or exercise their franchise. And we all saw how it turned out. Maybe Tinubu would have won, who knows, and maybe Obi would have won. But if they had allowed it to be free and fair in terms of not allowing using security agencies, and especially thugs, to intimidate voters, and if INEC, a body, dedicated with the power of conducting a free and fair election, did not allow itself to become partisan, and allowed itself to be used as an agent of this unity in Nigeria, because this election we expected, they told people that your vote will count, free and fair election, so people wanted to come out, and it has denied people of that. So if anything, if Nigeria is thrown into any turmoil or anything at all, turmoil rather, or anything at all, as a result of what has happened in this election, everything will be on his head. The blood of the innocent, if anything even happens, and those who have experienced attacks, and then even those who have died as a result of all these manipulations and as a result of all these manipulations, then the blood of the innocent will be on Yahkoob's head. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section with respect to Tinubu doing what Buhari could not do within 6 months or 3 months, and that's by sacking and or retiring and appointing service chiefs subject to the approval by National Assembly. That's the constitution. And also let me know what your thoughts are on Okonkwo coming so hard on Yahkoob, calling him out directly and placing the curse on him. Until we see again, I remain your guy, Ernest Adebayo Okonkwo, signing out. Peace.